Hey everybody, Paint Marine here with another In the Crosshairs, and I want to go over the Shadow Spear Vanguard. I want to go over the Space Marine portion of um, the new box set coming out. They just released an article on it, but first I need to touch base on this Abaddon reveal. Like I feel like we all knew it was coming. They kind of previewed it a little bit at the Nova Open, and here it is, the 80 days, and he's back. So they got this little article up, and I gotta say, he looks like a scrub. I mean, I don't know what to. Yeah, I'm just kidding. He looks like a great model. He definitely looks very imposing, very cool. Um, Again, like not what I'm gonna pick up. Not being a chaos player and all, but I definitely can see he looks crazy amazing. So I say I'm not picking him up, but I could definitely see the potential for some conversions and stuff here. And the biggest thing is I mean, honestly, I do like the Fallen Space Marine. I like kind of collecting these Fallen Space Marines to use it as objective markers or for the bottoms of my other bases, because a lot of my Tau I use, I put Ultramarines on the base as part of kind of like that whole, Ultramarines try to assassinate Farsight and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I definitely like those aspects of it. But yeah, it's a great looking model. I think this picture right here is pretty telling as well. It's a big model. I think, where does it say? Yeah, nearly as tall as a Primarch. So it's a big model for sure. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a very very cool model here. Um, so yeah, here's the one that I like. This part right here. um, yeah, I definitely, if anything, I want to pick it up just for this right here. Like I said, I like the Fallen Marines with the Apothecary. Then there was the one with the other Chaos guy that just came out. I can't think of his name, with the spear. And then we actually, have this guy as well. So, yeah. So, Abaddon is back. Looks like he's got two options for his face. He's got like a half mask or no mask here. So definitely up to you to choose what you want to do. And then we have Vigilus Ablaze. So I believe this is a new campaign book. Now I'd have to look back. I think this is like going to be the new standalone, the one that's not coming. Yeah, it says right here there's a number 2 on it. So this is the second campaign book from Vigilus that'll be coming out. Yeah, I guess look forward to that as well. And let's see what else we got here. Let's check out this artwork. I want to see if there's anything kind of high. Oh, Tempestus. I don't really see any Marines in this picture. But yeah. So, oh yeah, and then they previewed this Havoc Marine here now with his new weapon. But yeah, they also say that over the next few weeks they'll be seeing a lot more new stuff for Chaos. So looking forward to that. As far as all kinds of new stuff they got going out. But now to get to my main focus, what I want to talk about a lot is actually a couple things. I want to talk about is over here, and I want to focus in on a specific unit that they released recently. So we have the new Vanguard units. You've seen all the miniatures from the Shadow Spear, and it's up for pre-order this weekend. We'll be telling you more about them over the coming days. Right now, it's the turn of the Vanguard Space Marines. First of all, we're going to look at the Phobos pattern Mark 10 power armor that they wear. So something interesting here, as I was reading this article, and you can check it out too, is it's a modular adaptable system. Now, I didn't realize, and I missed it, but I guess this kind of has like the same base parts, and whether you're using Gravis or the regular, I guess, Mark 10 power armor, the Phobos, it's just you swap out parts. So you swap out various things to make it Gravis. There's like the base set of armor that remains the same, and then you swap out the shoulders, the whatever else, and I guess that's what basically turns it into Gravis otherwise. So it kind of makes more sense, as in the captain that's in the set was the captain in Gravis armor in the first box set for 8th edition, and then just was told, hey, you're going to be part of this Vanguard mission by Gilliman, and so he just swapped out some parts, and he has basically the same core armor, but swapped out his Gravis plates and has basically put on some of the Phobos tactical armor. So it's very interesting that they can just swap it out. Um, so obviously here it says that the armor is adopted by infiltrators and reavers. In particular, it is a lighter variation that offers increased maneuverability and quieter movement. So they have some examples. You have the Ultramarines, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Dark Angels. So we definitely see that all the major codex and then the other codex, or I guess kind of non-codex compliant, the Dark Angels, Blood Angels, and Space Wolves will also have access to all these new units. So then we got the infiltrators are responsible for disrupting enemy communication, sabotaging targets of opportunity. They have a back-mounted Omni Scramblers, intercepting signals across a broad spectrum and scrambling frequencies, shutting down enemy communications. And then they have their marksman bolt carbines as well. One thing that is interesting, it says when the time comes, infiltrators to fight directly, they emerge from their hiding places under cover of smoke grenades and cut down their foes with disciplined volleys. Now, the rules leak that came out basically stated that they can throw a smoke grenade and then I think it was a minus to hit or something like that, but then they can't shoot for that phase. Which I guess is probably good. I guess would make them not quite overpowered, but the way this reads, I kind of wish, and maybe when the actual rules, maybe that's incorrect, but I definitely would like to see it be different, as in, like, maybe they can throw a smoke grenade and still fire, or maybe one model can't because it threw the smoke grenade while the rest fire, which is what the suppressors can do, because the suppressor sergeant can fire smoke grenades and then not fire its weapon while the other two can fire. So, yeah, it's very interesting there. So we have a suppressor specialized in rapid response to heavily armored enemy threats, entering the battle either by dropping directly into action via grab shoots or in long bounding leaps with their jump packs. As soon as the target is sighted, the suppressors engage the shock-absorbing servo plates and let fly with accelerated autocannons. The brutal ferocity of the foot-long armor-piercing shells they unleash will blast apart anyone caught in their path. So I know a lot going around on the web right now with a lot of people not huge fans of their look. I may try to see about if I can do like a ground pose. I've also seen a meme or whatever going around of that is considered modeling for advantage if you put them on the ground, unless you kind of put some sort of base that would put them at equal height. And so there seems to be like kind of a debate going back and forth right now. Like, is that really modeling for advantage? Because while yes, they'll have I guess kind of harder targeting because they're not as tall, they also now reduce their own line of sight, so they will also have like kind of reduced ability to target certain enemy models and units and such. So the idea is like, is the loss of height really that big of a deal? Because while I guess they can't be targeted as easy, they also then can't shoot as easily. I'm in the camp where if somebody has them on their bases, like, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't see it necessarily as modeling for advantage. I think it's modeling for rule of cool, because they just like the way that they look on the ground versus, this up in the air look. So, because I mean, again, like, I like the idea that they are, I think it's cool that they can kind of like jump into battle, but then they land, fire their weapons, and then take off. Because like right here we had that they, as soon as the target is sighted, the suppressors engage their shock absorbing servo plates. So I don't know if that means like these things here and just in general, like they lock everything in and they're on the ground and they fire. Because I would think that it would not be a good idea to probably fire that weapon while in the air. I mean, maybe, sure, but I just kind of see like, to me, basic physics can be like all this outward force, like coming out this way, is going to push them that way, unless they activate some crazy, like this is all. I mean, this could all like be connected into one system. So when this thing fires, it creates a counterbalance type of thrust here to keep them in place. Maybe, I don't know. All right, so then we have the dedicated marksmen, the Eliminators. The fire support warriors haunt the shadows of the battlefield, seeking out high-value targets and bringing them down with pinpoint volleys. The optical size of their bolt sniper rifles can be tailored for any situation, from thermoscopic vision to precision auspex scans that can penetrate several feet through solid matter. Each member of the Eliminator squad carries spare magazines filled with special issue ammunition for every tactical eventuality and variety of target. Now, the leaked rules for this, we haven't seen a leaked data sheet, so there's only on the leaked rules 2 types of ammo. This makes it sound like there could potentially be more types of ammo, because I would definitely like to see these guys have a little more versatility, because in this other thing that I'll bring up here in a minute, there is some potential for them to be really good character killers, but then at the same time, if you don't get first turn, you run the risk of them getting killed with a bunch of shooting right away. If you do get first turn, then you can make them more survivable with the librarian and such, and then potentially at least get that first target that, you know, their whatever character you may be trying to kill them. But with that, like I said, then that they're most likely not going to be around for much longer after turn 2, because people will see the threat that they can just really easily take out characters, potentially. But again, like I said, there's only 3 of them. They're only 1 shot each. It's a heavy weapon, so even dropping them in turn 1, with their infiltrate thing, I mean, that's considered a move. Well, actually, I'd have to look again to see. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what their rules are, because I think if it's like the current infiltrate, I believe like that's not counted as moving. That's just how they deploy. Because then you still have the turn, and in the movement phase they don't move. So in that case, they would be hitting on 3s unless they do consider it like a deep strike, where that happens at the end of your movement. But since we don't have the actual data sheet yet, I'm not sure how that will work. But I'm assuming, since they don't have grab shoots, that they're more of a kind of an infiltrate, and so it'll happen before the round 1 happens. So it'll happen at the end of the deployment zone before turn 1 starts, and, you know, kind of like the normal way that we can set up scouts now. So anyway, with that though, like I said, like if you don't have turn 1, that could potentially set you up for some issues. But like I said, I see a lot of synergy potential here. So I'm going to pull up this other picture I want to go over real quick. Alright, so this is kind of a funny little meme I just threw together real quick, just because I thought, you know, whatever. Because I wasn't too sure about these guys, but then I was thinking there is some potential. I do like the idea, but again, we'll all see. Like, another huge thing is like what the points cost these guys will be. Like, a lot of people have been throwing around, you know, 60 points would be like the optimal price point for these guys. But much more than that, then it starts to be like, okay, now they're getting to be too expensive for what they can maybe do with them getting potentially targeted right away because of their potential threat output. So my whole point here was with Raven Guard tactics. That's what I usually play anyway. But so with their camo cloaks, you're looking at a two up save in cover with their camo cloaks. Obviously, I mean, I most likely am going to put them in cover on some kind of a building, so they have good line of sight with 36-inch range weapons. So I'm most likely putting them in cover with camo cloaks. They're going to have a 2 up to their save. Then okay, so you may not notice I had to take a quick break or whatever, and I have you can't see him, but we have a guest with us right now. My 3-year-old son is here, and he's going to help us finish this breakdown. So, what I was getting at though, we're at the 2+ cover saves in cover with camo cloaks. Then with Raven Guard already, if you're more than 12 inches away, they're going to be -1 to hit. Then if they get their shrouding off, so the librarian also has that kind of infiltrate rule because he's got this whole camo cloak on too, so he can drop in with them as well. So now if he gets the shrouding ability, now this isn't a for sure thing, it's a leaked as of right now, warp charge 6. So he gets shrouding off. That means that it's like units within 18 get shrouded, or a unit, I think he has to select a unit within 18 get shrouded. And so what that makes is kind of like, in a way, they kind of get the character rule, as in like they can't be targeted unless they are the closest unit. So I mean, with a 36-inch range, like I would suggest like not putting them too far forward. And again, if they're turn one and obviously if you have turn one, they're going to be more survivable because you can get your psychic phase off and all that, and then hopefully move some units up to then they're not the forefront of your battle line or whatever. So we have that. So then the rumor is right now that there's two different types of ammunition. One, they're both strength 4, but one is AP -2 and D3 damage each, and they're all heavy one shots. So like again, there's a movement penalty, but and then the other one is strength 4, AP -1, but it ignores cover and can target units that it cannot see. So you can shoot at stuff that you don't even need to have line of sight to with a -1, and it's only 1 damage. But if, again, you can get on like the current leak is on a warp charge 6, if you get that off with the Seer's Gaze, or Shire, I don't know if I'm saying that right, I think it's Seer's Gaze, then you are now not only re-rolling your 1s, so you don't even need to have a captain nearby if you get this off, you are also ignoring cover. So now you're looking at a unit that is a +2 to their saves and cover. They're a -1 to hit already, which then if they are the closest target, they're a -1 to hit. If they're not the closest target, you can't shoot them. Then with the higher AP ammo, they can go ahead and shoot you with a strength 4, which isn't great, but strength 4, -2 AP, and with the Seer's Gaze, they're re-rolling and they get to ignore cover as well. So while they don't get the benefit of not needing line of sight with the other ammo, they have a better AP with the -2 and better damage output with D3, and also get ignore cover, which is like really good as far as like I'm saying, like these are going to be your character killers. Now you could roll your 3d3s on your wounds and only get 1 each, so okay, you've only done 1 wound or 3 wounds now. That's not great, but they do also have the maximum output of doing the or 9 wounds potentially. Now the other thing that would be awesome and potentially overpowered though is the whole idea that I can't remember if with the sniper rifles now, I'd have to look, but if it was the 6s to hit or the 6s to wound, I can't remember which one it is that causes that mortal wound, as well as I believe it was the 6s to wound cause mortal wound as well, or I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But I know it was one of those two. But either way, like if they had that rule as well, where the whatever the 6 to hit or the 6 to wound additionally caused a mortal wound, like that could be that. I think that could over the top make them like super character killers. Yeah, so we'll see. So I've seen a lot of people though be like, oh well, I don't need to worry, about that because they can't take on like orcs don't care and like all this and that and the other. Is like, yeah, well, they're not there. Like everyone keeps trying to say, like the key to taking these guys out is to get them in melee and to throw bodies at them. Like they can't. Well, yeah, they're not made to take on a horde army. That's not their purpose. Their purpose is to kill characters. And now if there's additional armor, because like the way that verbiage said that they had ammunition to take on these different tasks. So if there's different ammo that they can access that can maybe be potentially good against a vehicle or something, then that can make them even more dangerous. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. I kind of feel like the 2 different ammo profiles they have right now are probably going to be all we're going to see. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see as things get closer, because like I said, these are the only ones we haven't seen a leaked data sheet. Not to say that those leaked data sheets couldn't be incorrect themselves of what we've seen anyway. But I would be, I'm definitely interested to see what the final rules on these guys are, because as is, like I said, I think these are a prime character killing unit. I would definitely, I'm trying to think of how, so more times than not, I'm not going to bring only 1, and that's dependent on the cost. If they're overcosted, then I'm not bringing any. if they're at that 60 point range, like I could see bringing 2 units of these, because then you're gonna have to target prioritize essentially, if you can even target them anyway. So I mean, there's so many different things going on there. So like you have the potential of survivability, especially if you got turn one. The chance of them making the turn two is very strong, to where they can then take out another character, if not finish off the one that they just rolled some bad D3s on, and finally, end it for that one character. So I don't know. Like I said, did we just become best friends? Yep. Well, I may be jumping the gun on that one. No pun intended with these guys, but I don't know. I right now I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking the rule synergy with the psychic powers. I see a lot of potential here. And plus, I just think they look sweet with those awesome sniper rifles and the cloaks and stuff. Because, well, I mean, to me, I don't know. Cloaks almost make everything look cooler. Like I get like, oh well, I mean I've all seen the memes and the comments and stuff like, oh, wears bright blue armor and puts a blanket over him, and suddenly it's the cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter or something. But yeah. But anyway, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the rest of this is going to go here. So then we have the Vanguard Lieutenant. So quickly looking at here, we have lieutenants are skilled bladesmen and deadeye shots with the Oculus Bolt carbines. Now we know with lieutenants already, they already have a weapon skill of 2. A lot of people commented, I've seen this guy's got more knives than hands. I've seen why does he have a close combat weapon, but everybody else, their stat line says they come armed with a combat knife. Like, why does this guy? Well, if you read his data sheet, or the leaked data sheet anyway, he has a special rule called Knife Fighter, that on his wound rolls of 6, he causes additional wounds, which is pretty nice, and that's why he's modeled with 2 knives there. And someone said, well, more knives than hands. Well, technically, no, he only has 2. This third one here, I believe, is like a honor mark of the Knife Fighter, to basically show that he is a close combat knife fighter specialist anyway. Is this the assault close combat unit that we've been asking for and looking for? No, because obviously a strength 4 AP 0 is not that great. It is nice that you're getting that additional wound out of the 6s. Or I'm sorry, I think it's 6s to hit are automatic wounds. Like, you don't need to make a wound for them. I could be screwing that up. I'd have to look at the sheet again. But I do know that he has that Knife Fighter rule where the 6s cause some sort of automatic wound. But anyway, like I said, he, I don't know. It's cool, whatever. We got another lieutenant. We all knew it was going to happen. So not only do we have this lieutenant, but we also have that new lieutenant that's coming with Abaddon as well. So a lot of new lieutenants. So. Then we have the Vanguard Librarian, chosen for Vanguard service, master unique battle disciplines that focus on obscuring the passages of their comrades and wrong-footing the opponent with illusions and hallucinations, shaping psychic energy around themselves like a cloak or shadow. These psychers guide their battle brothers to enemy territory to their destination without raising so much as a flicker of suspicion from watchful foes. This is the last unit here that they kind of go over, because they already went over the captain earlier. But yeah, this is definitely one that we've seen before in the previews and stuff, and I definitely think it is awesome. And again, no real complaints. Again, cloaks make everything awesome. Again, I think I'm going to make another change with this one when I get him in my hands. As far as the Force Sword with my librarians, I like to add those Mega Blocks Halo Covenant Energy swords. Because my whole idea with my theme of my army is like their Force Swords are actually made from psychic energy that they focus into the actual sword themselves. So, while yes, you could say they do that with like the Force Sword type rules before, I just kind of like the idea that this energy blade of pure psychic power is what they make. So, and it looks pretty cool anyway. So, well, I guess that is it for just my quick look here at the Vanguard. Like I said, I am pretty excited about all of it. I think there's some interesting play value with some of these units. You know, I can see just all kinds of different things. I like to see kind of how they're all going to work together here. Um, it's definitely kind of an in-your-face unit, but with being Space Marines and being elite, going up against a Horde army, I don't feel like this is going to be all that great because, again, their close combat isn't the best, and they're just going to, I feel like, get diced up pretty quickly. So you really have to bring a lot of, kind of a lot of long range and fire support if you take on a Horde army to try to, I don't know, take out or take down, whittle away, however you want to say it, a lot of the big clump of guys before um, these units deal with them. Because while it's nice that we have these guys with the suppression rule so the enemy unit doesn't get overwatched when you charge in, there's nothing great about these guys in close combat, and definitely just having him with his extra thing isn't all that fancy of a great thing either. So, yeah, really looking at a lot of issues there. So, maybe this is all of things to come later this year. Maybe we'll finally get some kind of, you know, close combat weapon wielding Space Marine Primaris, I don't know, monstrosity that we have yet to actually see. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll see some kind of like double force sorted chain axe having, you know, Space Marines or something. So, all right, well, I guess that's gonna be it for this one. Like I said, definitely looking forward mostly to the Space Marine stuff, since that, you know, I'm at the end of the day, I'm a loyalist dog, so I'm gonna stick with my pack and continue with the loyalist side of things, and I'm more or less more excited now about these guys working with the Raven Guard tactics with my army. I hope that they perform like I think they're going to, like I said, but I see, regardless of if they do or not, they're going to be pretty survivable if I get first turn and hopefully take out a character before they're wiped out or before enough is committed against them that the whole rest of my army has time to react in response to my enemy basically focusing on these 3 guys, or 6 if I bring 2 units of them. So, alright, well, I appreciate you watching. Definitely check out the Facebook page. You know, check out the rest of the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share, all that. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time.